Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please check out the episode 1 of this series. In that episode I go to orbit for the first time. Please leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord, and you can make suggestions to me on Discord or just chat with me, hang out with voice chat. Even join me on streams on voice chat if you wanted. So right now I'm building a space plane because I need to go get some science. Or it's not really going to be a space plane, it's just going to be a jet plane. So the plan is I'm going to fly around Kerbin and get science in different biomes. And then I will be able to get some more research and be able to get bigger ships to go to orbit and whatnot. So as you can see, I'm now putting on some science. Very basic plane, just some liquid fuel, 2 jet engines, and wings. And some of you may notice already that the way I did those jet engines may not work or they're too small. And I very quickly found that out here momentarily. You may also notice that the video sped up a lot. That's because my computer did not have the processing power to record at the same FPS as I was watching it when I played it. Which, I don't know what goes on with that. I'll have that fixed for episode 3. But basically, unsped up FPS was at like 1 to 5, which was not going to be very interesting for you guys to watch. So, that first launch there was just me getting some science on the runway. Realized that it considered a separate area from the launch pad. And now I'm trying to take off. But, as you can see, those engines are not exactly providing thrust. So now I'm going back, and I thought maybe I could just reduce the weight and it would be fine. But that did not end up being the case, as we'll find out here shortly. Yep, here we go, we're launching it again. And, well, we're still not going very fast. So this time I thought maybe it was just the fact that I was on a gravel runway and needed to try to grasp, but that also didn't go very well, so figured I'd see if I get any science out of this, which I don't think I got much. So I just recovered the flight, got what I did. And now I'm trying to figure out what engine I want to use next. Which I've decided to go with a rocket, because more power the better. That fixes all problems. Well, at least I think it does. So, threw a whole bunch more liquid fuel tanks on there. And now I'm trying to figure out why I can't launch. Oh, because it's too long. So I cut out a science module. It was only like 0.83 meters too long for the runway. And now let's... Oh, I realized I only had one tail wing, which that was going to be a problem. So we take off, and I promptly turned and put my engine into the ground, which, oddly enough, it did not like that, so it blew up. And then I was left without enough thrust. Wanted to see if maybe the jet engines would have thrust at speed, but they didn't. Alright, this time I took off at a little less steep of an angle, and the engine is still working attached. So I just turned it down to maintain speed. And now we're just going to glide. I see some mountains up ahead I'm going to head to. And see if I can make it there. Well, little did I realize at this time that I have way more liquid fuel than I do oxidizer, because I have an extra liquid fuel tank and for the thrusters, and well, there goes all my oxidizer. So now I'm stuck without any power, which I went ahead and left my engines on at this point, which I don't even think at the time I noticed they were still on. Whoops. And we're trying to land it, and yes, I'm an expert at landing, if you can't tell. I mean, exploding. So now I'm just going to take off again. This time I know I can't go as far. And, well, we didn't go very far at all. I kind of just lost control there and spiraled up and around and into the ground. So now we're going to try this again and hopefully have a little better luck. And I angled too hard again. One day I'll learn. Realize I forgot some sides, so we're throwing some goo and stuff on there now. And we're going to fly out over the ocean. I thought maybe I would head toward the islands, and I turned too hard and things spiraled out of hand there. So now I'm going to actually launch from the island airport. Get some science here. And then recover the flight so I don't lose science. And now I'm going to go launch from there again. Or at least that was my plan. Until I turned too fast and broke it twice. So the third time's the charm. Then it goes fast, let it fly off the end, and yeah, you can see how that went. Adjust my wings back a little bit farther. And just went from the normal runway, but this time I flew out towards the island airfield. And now I'm just gliding out over the ocean, seeing where I can get. Which isn't very far. I'm now realizing I'm almost out of fuel. So I'm just going as high and fast as I can. And we'll just glide it down for a nice gentle touchdown, right? Well, I got it pretty high up, and this is a very slow dive, which I'm soon going to realize that the glide slope it was putting me on for prograde was kind of facing down, and I was going to go way too fast, which I think I may have realized that earlier, and I'm behind, but now I'm trying to get my descent right and nice and slow, and well, most of the plane blew up, but we survived. So the little EVA, get EVA report and crew report, got some science, and now I've decided I need some money because I'm low on money. So I'm going to do some missions to take tourists to orbit and then back. And I don't know if you guys have watched me build this ship, but this is a ship I had saved previously. And right now I'm making some modifications to it, making it hopefully better. But I don't actually end up using this ship. Each stage just doesn't quite have enough delta V or thrust weight ratio to get me to orbit and back. But I'll try a few things here, see if I can get it to work anyways, because I don't really realize that. But first off, I realized I had too many parts. So I removed a couple of parts, and then we checked my staging and we launch it. I think. Yep, there we go. And all's good, we're going vertical. Solid rockets ran out, so we dropped them. And then I realized that that other stage didn't have enough thrust, and I was actually losing speed. So I dropped it and then just used this one, but it definitely didn't have enough delta V to get me very far. So I was able to get out of the atmosphere. So I decided to take this opportunity and test my re-entry, because I'm still thinking I might use this ship. But I think after this re-entry I decided not to. Because it was really expensive, at like 80,000 or something to build. And at the time I only had like 111,000. So yes, I am going to be reverting this flight, even though I survived. But nice water landing, not too far from the shore. And the parachute slowed me down a lot. Got me down to like a 7 or 6.5 meters per second, I think. So that was a good soft landing. Yeah, then revert it back. Now I'm clearing that ship out and we're starting fresh. I quickly counted the number of Kerbals I needed to take it, because I like taking as many as I can at once. So I figured I only had 7. I drove 4 of these crew cabins on vertical, and that wouldn't be too tall to be extremely unstable and not be able to do anything. And then threw a engine on there and decoupler. Now I'm throwing some more fuel on, another engine. And now I've decided, instead of solid rocket boosters, I'd go with more fuel and more engines. Thought this would be a little more interesting. And it surprisingly worked until and I apparently do add some solid rocket boosters just for safe measure. Gotta strut everything, more struts the better. You can fix everything with power and struts. Yep, more power. Realized I didn't have enough thrust to weight ratio, I believe. So, whole bunch of struts. And now I'm going to add some wide sinks, auto strut the whole thing. And now we're launching it. Pretty good thrust weight ratio. Solid rockets ran out pretty quick and promptly exploded half of my next stage. So that didn't go well. So I checked my staging here. Realized it was right, and I was just blew up my whole half of the stage. So I decided to be a little more gentle here. Just use solid rocket boosters and keep my thrust on 0. And then once I released those, they were able to move away, and I was able to move away from them slowly. And there we just did a quick little barrel roll and then regained control. Jeb just wants to have some fun here. And now I'm trying to get a little more horizontal for a prograde burn. Once I get up to apoapsis, which here we are. Now we're running out of fuel there and there. Now I'm realizing I put my decoupler on backwards. Whoopsies. I also did the same thing up on between the fuel tanks and crew cabins, which I'm realizing then. But oh well, we'll do a few laps up here and then we'll bring it down. Which I had a very inclined orbit, which happened to be over a lot of land, which I was not confident at the time that this ship would do well landing on land, because I didn't have any landing gear, and it was a very tall ship that was going to land. So I'm doing my best here to try and get the landing area over water, which I eventually get it to where it looks like it'll be over water. Release the fuel tanks and engine, and yeah, that coupler stayed there just as I figured it would. And we're going to start our re-entry here shortly. Which, surprisingly, that decoupler doesn't actually explode. Spoiler alert. We came very close to it. Like, the red bar is about to be very full, but it does not explode. So, yeah, I'm just checking in, seeing if it's going to explode. Now, I'm sort of a little worried here. And also realizing that I'm landing on the land between the water. Yeah, literally on the beach here. So hopefully it's flat and everything goes well. I have a lot of parachutes, so we're landing at like 3 meters per second, which was very good. And we found flat ground and stayed upright. I snapped a couple pictures here. Show some friends, show some people on my Discord. And now we're just went AFK for a little bit apparently, but oh, there's my pretty desktop. Well, there we go. Now we're back in the game. So I actually didn't cut anything out of this. This is my full recording session, just sped up. I promise I won't do that again. I was in a little bit of a rush releasing this video, and because of that frame rate, it was just easiest for me to speed the whole thing up. You can call it good. Alright, so now I've added the Kerbals to the spaceship, and we're launching it for the missions. Because I've already proven that it goes well. I believe I also added some landing gear just in case. No, maybe not. Can't tell. But I'm still going to aim for the water. And everything's going great here. I have a lot more fuel than I did before, so that's even better. And we've almost made it to orbit. And we're in a very elliptical orbit here, but do a few laps. They're up there for 20 days. No big deal. And now I've started my retrograde burns to bring it down, hopefully in the water this time. And all good there. I decided to keep the booster on for a little longer because I had so much fuel. Now I'm realizing I'm probably going to hit in the land, so I did a quick burn to try and bring my orbit up a little bit away from the land. Because I didn't trust myself to land on a flat spot again. So, alrighty. I did a little more retrograde there to slow me down and make sure I land right in the middle of all the water. So, just make sure I don't find that one little island or something. And everything's going great. Parachutes deployed. We didn't overheat. Comes down to that 3 meters per second again. Which is very slow, even on 4 times warp speed. And I was a little worried there when we tipped over, but luckily we're fine. Got a whole bunch of money there. And that is a wrap for today's video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, join my Discord, send me suggestions, whatever you want. Oh, I'm glad that was a complete wrap. I went ahead and upgraded that runway some more, and some other buildings now that I have money, and accepting a few more missions here. And yeah, I completely lied. We're going up again. 2 more crew cabins here, because I think it was 12 Kerbins this time to take. And this time I decided to add landing legs because I realized landings would probably be better. However, it's kind of hard to find flat areas, so yeah, sorry for keep popping the desktop there, but here we go. Everything's going smoothly. It's getting a little wibbly wobbly. Oh, I also changed out, I don't remember if it was this flight or the last flight, I put swivel engines on those outboard instead of the Reliant ones, just to give them a little extra control. But that was a little scary this time because it was a little wibbly wobbly. But yeah, lots of fuel left over there. We're in orbit, and we're going to be orbiting for quite a long time because Bonehead here decided that if he time warps, he can get that periapsis in daytime. No, the periapsis doesn't move. It's the difference of it being over water or land, which it took me a while to learn that, like a long time. Periapsis is not changing, it's just over that one spot. It's the Kerbin that's changing. But here I got it back over water, and we're just going to land in the dark. Looks like a pretty good descent trajectory. Should land in the water. All's going well. And then let's see here. We detached the engine. And now I'm realizing that's coming in. And things are getting a little toasty down there. Oh, there go all my landing gear. Well, crap. That wouldn't be a problem if we were landing in the water. Until I realized we were landing in the mountains. What did I say about having the worst spots to land every time? Yeah, first it's right between the water. Now it's right on the side of the mountains next to the water. So, luckily our parachutes didn't cut away for that roll, and I was able to recover before things exploded. So, all's good. And upgrading a few more buildings now that we've got more money. And that's going to be a wrap for today. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, join the Discord, leave suggestions. You guys help me decide what I'm doing next. Episode 3 will be out next Monday. I do one episode every week on Mondays. And it's undecided officially, but it's probably going to be to Mud. So thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.